Yes. Hi. I'm back. So, we start this off in a hospital, in a hospital from modern times. And the character that I'm going to be portraying in this, I don't know if their family's alive, dead, just not around. So in this story, the parents are dead. Only friend is, uh, you'll see later. And yeah, um, well, start off in the hospital. I regain consciousness. First thing I remember is playing with Madara and absolutely bodying Kaguya with a Getsuga. Then everything went white. I see the damn mask again, and I come to wake up in a hospital. Then I go through my memories and I see a Reaper flying on wings of flames. If you can get these references I'm about to make, good on you. A man in a slick white coat with some animal fur and a cell phone. A giant nation of monsters and humans living in harmony. And for the last one, the destruction of a pure black ethereal wall that evaporates whatever touches it. Now, if you can get those get those Easter eggs for the other animes, and some are easy, some are hard, some are just why. Whoever gets them first, I'll give it a shout out in the next video that I post and know about your comment. Okay? But you have to get them all in one try. So, wake up, head pounding. I get the memories of a character from one of the animes I remember. I slam my head back on the pillow and go, well, damn quirk. A nurse hears me say that, and she walks in and is like, what? I look deadpan at her and go, I need 5 people. Jiro Kyoka, Toshinori Yagi, Nezu, and Shota Aizawa. You'll know them more as Nezu, Kyoka, or Jiro, whatever you want to call her, and Eraserhead. Toshinori Yagi is just Toshinori Yagi. Get them here, and if they ask, what is the reason for them being here? All for one and one for all. That's all you need to say. Within the next 24 hours, Nezu, Aizawa, Jiro, who's in a wheelchair with a pounding headache because she's hospitalized for the same incident, and Toshinori Yagi walks in. I immediately look at Jiro and go, Lazarus Pit. She snaps her head towards me and goes, I am not Raj Al Ghul. I go, okay, we're good. Looks at them and go, I'm from the year 2000s. Now, before you get all pissy about me claiming this, my name is Alexander from the year 2000s. I have the memories of Kaminari Denki, the person's body that I'm currently in. I'm not completely emerged yet. That'll be later. That is Laz. Don't remember her original name. Don't really care. But she's in the body of Kyokujiro. And you, skinny little old man over there, are Toshinori Yagi. You chimera thing, which I don't even want to attempt because then you're going to probably screw with my mind with falsehoods and other different things that'll just make my brain go pop. Are the little shit who would have figured me out sooner or later. So you're in this, and you are going to be my teacher when I attempt for UA. He goes, and why am I going to be your teacher? I go, well, within the last 24 hours that you guys have been trying to get it here, I've been practicing. And the term electricity is not right for what my quirk is. I am a living battery. I can manipulate the energy I consume. Well, semi-consume. So you think I have a limit. I don't have a limit. To the point, taps pointer finger on right hand and thumb together and pulls them apart. There's a little spark going through them, like a little piece of lightning. Goes to the edge of the bed and cuts through the bars. Stops the flow of the electricity, picks it up, and shows them. I have perfect control over the lightning. Why? Because I am cursed by some kind of god, and sadly she was brought along. She goes, you picked me to come along. I go, I didn't, well, wait, did I? I don't remember. It's like light 14, 15, I don't care. I don't remember. She goes, this is life 256. I remember because he asked me what I wanted, and I wanted a reason to kick your ass. So you remember every single time that we have died and resurrected into a new world. Yes. So, looks at Yagi and go, he's not dead. Sadly, he's not dead. Looks at Nezu and goes, the MLA is going to be a pain in the ass. Dieternet is going to be the staging grounds. Looks at Aizawa and goes, you're the only person who can kill all for one. Ask Yagi about it. Or should I call him his hero name? Because you're going to figure out anyway. I'll not figure it out, get told anyway. Should I? Should I not? I'm going to do it anyway. So tell All Might to show you his true form the next time you see him. Well, the next time you're around him. Although, just use your quirk. Looks at Aizawa again. He goes, before I forget, A, your prescription for eye drops suck. B, and yes, I've been in this world before. B, get mirrored lenses. You know the one-way mirrors? Get those as lenses. Please. It will help with the pocket sand that people sometimes bring. I know you hate sand, especially when it gets in your eyes. So that will help. 2, you can keep a humid climate in your glasses with the anti-fog kind of thing on your glasses to keep your eyes moisturized, so you can keep your eyes open longer. And last but not least, they won't know where you're looking. So yeah, look at Jiro and go, you know what her ability is, right? She goes, yes, the terrifying power of sound. I go, yes. Looks directly at Nezu and goes, I got 2 favors for all the information I know. He goes, what are the 2 favors? I go, 1, no matter what, myself and Jiro get into Class 1A. I'm needed there. And 2, fucking bring down Aldera. Aldera? Yes. Think of the MLA's supporters times a million and throw it at a school. They're so bad. Aldera Elementary and Aldera Middle. I'm even including Aldera High in this. Because if I remember correctly from the memories, I'm 14, 15, young. I'm just entering high school. A UA is a university. Thank God you're not training child soldiers in this universe. But he just joined Aldera High. So, All Might snaps his head toward. It's me. I go, if you do not pick a scrawny little green-haired boy named Izuku Midoriya, you will not have a successor for very long, because number 9 will become Singularity, and when Singularity hits, only quirkless people can withstand. Ned's like, what? I know the secrets. I've been in this universe before. Ain't that right, Jiro? Just call me Laz. Call me Laz. But yes, we've both been in this universe before. I don't know why he's so overpowered in each time we reincarnate, but he is the number 1 baddest mofo in every universe. I look directly at her and say, don't you dare say more. And he has a self-sacrificing streak so long and wide that I'm sorry, but at one point, I'm going to probably have to bring him down so he doesn't go self-sacrificing. I look directly at her and death glare her and goes, you know that is because of you, right? She goes, eh. And I'm like, what? And I look at them and go, the only way to truly kill me is for her to die. I think it was, life 3, maybe 4, maybe even 2. I don't. Life 3. We were in the, what was it? Universe of Shinigami and Hollows. I was the strongest person there. I had the abilities to hide how strong I was, so I didn't do anything. But I had to keep Shinigamis, humans, and Hollows separate. I was the peacekeeper. I stepped back because she died. Because of this Hollow Shinigami Quincy War. I'm not going to get into it, but she died. I stepped back because I made a deal with Man of Life and Man of Death for me to just keep balance. And they just keep sitting on their thrones however they want. But then they started fighting again. She got dragged in. She died. So I just completely obliterated all 3 major superpowers in that world. And just let it keep going. So, I'm now in this world with the quirk electricity. I'm going to see how far I can take it before I run out. So, yeah. Looks directly at Jiro and goes, so, Titan or Hunter first? She goes, God damn it. You are not making a Destiny reference in here. I go, I'll do whatever I want. I'll make a Destiny reference all I want because no one will understand it besides you, and making you irritated is freaking hilarious. Now, Titan or Hunter first? Warlock. I don't want to do Warlock. That's going to make me go, and let my intrusive thoughts out. She goes, what? I go, well, I figured out that Danki Kaminari is originally dyslexic. Makes sense, because he can't really focus on anything. Has ADHD. Makes sense, byproduct of his quirk. And I hate to say this, he is brainless. Like, what? I go, when I say you're brainless, I mean that subconscious mind does not think whatsoever. Does not do anything. Just sits and waits. But my subconscious. Do you have... Oh, no. The only one close to here would be UA. He goes, do I have what? I was about to ask, do you have this giant battery I could dump all the electricity in my body into and reabsorb so I can hear what my intrusive thoughts are? But Laz knows that's a very bad idea. And she goes, yep, very, very bad idea. And I was like, I kind of want to hear him. I look at him and go, I know you're a bad mofo because in the universe we originally went to, you were shot by the quirk erasing bullets that Overhaul is trying to make. And no, it is not time for us to go get the quirk erasing bullets out of his hands because he's not even close to doing it. But you cut off your own leg to not have it affect your quirk. Now, I'm a little irritated because they did you a little dirty. They just gave you a normal robotic prosthetic instead of actually going to Island and getting you a good one. But, meh. So, what should the plan of business be? I should train. Looks at Jiro and goes, you're training with me. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10K run every day till UA. She goes, I am not doing the Saitama regimen. I'm like, if we get as strong as Saitama, that means anime logic works here, and the placebo effect works on Dark Shadow. So if we try, we succeed, let's do it. She goes, oh god, the placebo effect of Dark Shadow. Like, who? Look up a kid called Fumikage Tokoyami. There is a quirk called Dark Shadow. If anime logic works here, and it's called anime logic because it's just complete and utter bull crap, because you believe something could happen, it will happen. So, let's think about this. You want to get strong enough to lift a building. You don't need a superpower. All you need to do is hard work for a good 3 or 4 years. And then voila! You could punch down skyscrapers with a flick of your finger. You can lift skyscrapers as your bench press weight. So, yeah. Yeah. And Nez is like, huh. And I was like, no. He goes, but it would be really useful. No. My schedule's already full enough as it is. I look directly at Aizawa and go, why don't you join your students in doing this during PE class? Or, as you call it, homeroom. Jiro's like, you're setting us up to get so strong that we can body one for all by ourselves. Or all for one by ourselves. I look directly at her and go, yup. I don't even want to see the 9th, but it's got to happen. 9th has got to be given his quirk. Now, I don't dislike Night Eye, but he currently is acting like a child to the point, do not talk to him until Izuku Midoriya gets the quirk and explain what's happening with Singularity. he will understand after you prove the fact that Togata Mirio, or Mirio Togata, yes, he's going to start next year, will be dead soon if you give him the quirk. So, yeah. Anything else? No. Goodbye. I need a nap. Pulls out a phone charger from his bag, plugs it into the wall. Free electricity. Munches on the end. And Gio's like, I can't believe you're actually doing that. I look directly at her and go, this is how I work up the storage so I can actually do the lightning strike. So I can do the stuff that I think lightning can do and energy can do. And yes, I've already tested the electromagnetic control like Magneto. She goes, what? Yes. Watch. Put my hand up and her jack immediately stretches out and slams into my hand. I look and go, I really should not have done your jack because it's very sharp. Actually, that works. She goes, what? Goes to one of my spare gloves, puts it on my hand, squeezes really hard, pulls it off, and my hand's covered in blood. The glove is covered and shoved it in. Yagi, he coughs up a mouth of blood in worry. And did you know the blood is 90 or like 50 or some odd % iron? So, yes, I pull the napkin towards me and shove it in my bag and go, you don't need to worry about that whatsoever. Nezu's like, I feel you're either going to give someone a quirk that they shouldn't have, or you're making the fallback strategy. I go, you somehow, my little rodent friend, who is younger than me, via soul age, but not physical age, are correct. I'm making my panic button. The what? Jiro's like, no, you are not making another panic button. I look directly at her and go, there's always got to be a plan Z. Everybody looks at me. Everybody besides Jiro looks at me and goes, plan Z? I look at them and go, have you not heard of mutually assured destruction? That's plan Z. You always have to have a plan Z. Looks at Nezu and goes, so, what is your plan Z? I'm guessing you release your blackmail and everything. And, well, when you die, every piece of blackmail and thing you've gotten illegally just blasts out into the internet, constantly invading other devices so everybody knows about it, so that everything comes down with you. And he goes, I shall not confirm nor deny that statement. I look directly at Jiro and go, he's got a plan Z. Looks at All Might and goes, you're still only thinking about the plan Y. Looks at Aizawa and goes, I don't know if I should be happy or sad. Happy that you don't have a plan Z, or sad you don't have a plan Z? He goes, I'll think of a plan Z. I look directly at him. Don't worry, I'll get you a plan Z in a few years when I join UA. And he goes, I'll still think of one for the time being. And I go, good on you. Well, I'll be in touch, since apparently my parents are dead this life. Oh well. But I'll be in touch. Talk to you later. I need your phone number. Looks at Nezu. I need your email. Looks at Aizawa and goes, pull up your capture scarf real quick. He does so, and I see the chain. I go, I need yours and your husband's email. He glares at me and goes, how do you know that? I go, most of the universes I go into, you're gay. I don't really care. So, would you or would you not like me to fill you in on things? Also, I'm currently living alone with a multi-million-dollar corporation fueling me for my wild ideas, and the constant energy needs is fueled by that multi-million-dollar company because my parents are solar panel creators. Um, you know that complete light spectrum solar panel? Like, yeah. My parents made that. They also made my breaker. Or what? Pulls the longish hair up from behind my neck and shows this metal plate. I show them this and I say, the breaker. The thing keeping my intrusive thoughts in and not out 90% of the time. So my intrusive thoughts are very dark, twisted, demented. But I'm glad I have this breaker. It's quite small currently. I'll need a bigger one when I'm getting older, or just an attachment to this so I can plug that in. But meh, we'll see. So the meeting finishes up. Jiro goes back to her room. I get released 2 days later because the hospital sees their electricity bills going up and up and up. They don't know why. I unplug every time a nurse is checking up on me, so they don't know it's me. So they gotta start pushing patients out and pulling patients in so I can get more money. So they get me out, and, well, I go home. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Musutafu that is completely paid for. It's above the storefront of the company. And I look at the kind of stuff that Denki Kaminari has, and I go, you know, Denki Kaminari is kind of smart for being dyslexic, ADHD, and being basically brain stunted because of his own quirk. He's kind of smart. Well, better get started. 3 years later, at the sludge incident, 3 years and 2 months later, at the sludge incident, I'm currently in the crowd, and Yagi Toshinori is currently to the side. I walk up to him and go, you met him yet? He goes, met who? The green-haired, green-eyed, green bean of a successor you're going to have. He goes, that kid? Yup. So, if you do not give him this quirk, you will not find another quirkless kid. Because he's the last quirkless kid. Don't know if in this reality his father's All For One again, but you're more of a dad figure than All For One ever was. So, yeah. How should I? I know. Walks out towards the heroes, pulls hood down, clicks button on side of the hood, and you just hear a zap coming from it, and this helmet shoots down from my hood. Yes, it is a bulky, heavy hood. The helmet shoots down, and the hoodie that I had turns into armor, all the way down to my boots that I wear over my jeans, and my hoodie turns into a cape. Yes, a cape. It's more of a scarf cape, but it's still a cape. And I throw my hand out and grabs something, and this blue staff just appears in my hand. And I walk up right behind Death Arms, push the crowd back a little with the zappy stick, and zap him in the ass. The stick disappears. The entire outfit disappears, and I'm in just a normal hoodie. And he turns around super fast. And he's like, who the hell did that? And I just look at him like, who the hell did what? The entire crowd is looking at me like I'm crazy. And I go, oh, you mean this? Pulls the staff out again. The armor shuts down and pokes him with the staff again. And he goes, why are you doing that? I go, well, I'm just giving you a slight taste of what he's currently feeling because you're going numb from the zaps. Here's an idea. Grab a rock and throw it at its eyes. You see its eyes, you see its mouth. Hit those. Hit them. Doesn't matter with what, just hit them. He looks at me like I'm stupid. I go, you want me to zap you again? It's in defense of him. I will zap you again. He goes, no. He pulls a rock from the ground and throws it in the eyes of the sludge villain. And I see a green-haired green boy run past me when Death Arms throws the thing. One eye gets hit. Then Izuku throws his backpack. The other eye gets hit. Completely blind. Completely lets go of Bakugo. Izuku drags Bakugo away. And I go, thank you. And I throw the stick, zappy stick, like a javelin, and it lands inside the sludge, completely zapping him, numbing him to everything. I walk up, I pull it out and desummon it, and I go, there you go. Due to quirk laws and vigilante laws, I know that I did what was right. What cannot be considered vigilantism because A, it was in service of somebody else, and B, nobody was willing to do anything. And plus, you cannot scold him or arrest him. Why? He has no quirk. So he's quirkless? That is not what I said. He has no quirk. So he's quirkless. No. The difference between quirkless and has no quirk is that there cannot be any quirk factor to be quirkless. He has a quirk factor, so he technically does have a quirk because of the quirk factor, but there's just so little of it that you can't find it. Well, at least yet. And it looks directly at the little kid, the little one. Yes, he's still tiny. He's still like 5'3". I'm 6'2" right now, currently in the thing. I look down at him and go, on the way home, listen and accept. That will awaken your quirk. Listen to what? Just listen. I guarantee someone will find a way to awaken your quirk. Now get! I kick him out of the thing. And yes, he rolls on the ground, but not harmed. I look at the news people and start completely and utterly chewing out the heroes. And I have the news wrapped around my pinky finger with how I'm saying it and phrasing it. I get home later that day, and there's a beautiful purple-haired person with their earlobe plugged into a phone, just staring me down, irritated. I go, hi. I think I left some stuff at the grocery store. I'm gonna go away. Immediately gets choked in the neck because of the earphone jacks. And I start screaming for help. The door slams. Everybody knows this is completely fake, the screaming for help. So they just ignore it. So we go to 3 months later. I'm passing a junkyard. And all of a sudden, something flies at my head. And since I always have my electricity pumping out of me in a slight field around me, I sense it hit the field because most of the electricity in that spot just disappears. And I stop and lean back because it was about to hit me forwards. Stop and lean back, and it just flies past me. I'll look over and see the spot of an explosion with a pink-haired girl in it. And if you're thinking Mina, it's not Mina. No, it's May. May Hatsume. I look directly at her and go, question. She goes, what? Do you explode often? Not very often, because from what it looks like here, you're a wrench monkey or grease monkey, whatever you want to call it. And I would quite like to see if you could build something for me. But you don't have to. Now, please answer my question. Are you a wrench or grease monkey? She looks deadpan at me and goes, what's the difference? I go, wrench, works in a workshop, grease, mechanic bay. She goes, both. I go, good. Well, there's a backpack on my back, by the way. I pull out a hoodie, take off the backpack, put the hoodie on, pull down the hood, click a button, she hears the zap, and the hood retracts a little, and the armor's on. And I look directly at her through the armor and say, can you make this faster? Because I barely was able to make this. And make it silent. She goes, I can do you better. I go, good. Pulls off the hood and the armor retracts. And I give her the hoodie and say, the only condition for you doing this, because yes, I'm going to be paying you, and yes, I have a lot of money to pay you, is you must get a full 8 hours of sleep every day from here on. You must eat 3 meals a day from here on. You can use caffeinated drinks if you're having a long day and it's slow. But if you get an idea, you write it down in a notebook and you come to that notebook later. This idea notebook will fill up a shelf very quickly, but that is why I'm going to be giving you 3 storage shelves. She goes, 3 storage what? You know those moving shelves from the museums and libraries? She goes, sorta. Ones with the wheels that you can turn and extend them and then retract them so they smash together like a sandwich. She goes, yeah. I'll be installing one of those for your place, but I'll be giving you buttons. She looks at me like I'm a godsend. I go, yes, and they're going to be 12 meters long. 3 meters high. Have as many shelves as there are going to be notebooks. And yes, I will find a way to digitize whatever you put on those things. She looks at me like I'm a godsend. And I go, those are my conditions. Those are what you're going to get. And whenever you finish something, you will be given money based on how cheap, how usable, and how profitable they are. If they're cheap, usable, and profitable, you're going to get a good tip. Bonus. If they're cheap and usable, but not very profitable, you're going to get a good bonus, but not as good if they're profitable. Now, if they're profitable and cheap, then you're just going to get a normal pay, because I do not like something that is not usable. Now, if it's usable and profitable, but not very cheap, you're going to get a bonus. So I'll draft up a contract, And yes, I know I have a legal team to help me with it. Don't worry. All you have to do is read it, go over the conditions and terms. So yes, you will have complete access to a more high-tech workshop. No, I cannot give you babies. No, I will not help you with any of the babies you will be making. Okay. This is over. No, I will not answer any more questions. I'll get back in touch with you. And do you live here? She goes, yes. I look directly at her and go, do you live here with your family? She goes, yes. Directly at her and go, does your family need more scrap? She goes, yes. I look directly at her and say, hey, tell them Dagobah Municipal Beach, you will find as much scrap as you want. Her eyes shine, and you just hear from the background, ahoy, matey! And I'm like, did I just give trash pirates a place to steal trash? And May just runs back, and I go, I was going to give her my card for later. Oh well. I walk away. The day of the entrance exams. The end when Izuku Midoriya blows the 0-pointer out of the way. I forgot that the 0-pointer was going to be blown back because I've been working out, doing stuff. So I just hear this thing falling and I'm like, oh, well, crap. So I put my hands together like I'm summoning something. For if you've seen Chivalry of a Failed Knight, yeah, like that. I pull out this lightning blade, and I get into a kendo stance, and I swing as hard as possible. You don't see this giant, like, swing like in like it gets a Getensho from Bleach. No. You see this razor thin line appear, but to the side you just see this giant arc just going off into the distance. And I accidentally somehow went through 2 other examination sites and sliced their 0-pointers directly in half without hitting anybody. So, yeah. I look at them and go, well, shit. They're like, what? Did you get hurt? I go, no. I popped a breaker. They just see me put my hand underneath my hair and just flick something. And they hear the pop of a breaker, and I go, 1 breaker left for the day. I need to replace them later. Oh, well. And I just walk off. So the day of letter arrivals, Jiro's over, or Laz, is over. I look at her and go, you tired of resurrecting? Because if you're tired, I could just put you as a soul sword and forever, and you'd just be reliving your life on Earth and all the past lives, just however you want to live them. And she goes, no, I can do this. Really? Are you sure? Because I could ask him and he could probably do it. She goes, no, I'm good. I go, okay. I thought you might like I get to not have to worry about all this crap. She goes, if I'm in a soul sword, you're just going to sacrifice yourself using me. I go, yeah, true. Yeah, like that Getsuga, that Tensho, or that, or that Getsuga, or that one time, or when I built you in Knights and Magic as an AI. um, yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't think we'd be in this many lives, the 250 some odd lives. She goes, to be honest, it's been fun. Completely fucking up these stories, seeing what happens. Oh, I especially loved when you bodied Madara really hard. I go, I didn't body him. I messed with him. I played with him. I made him relive his life, rethink his life decisions of conquering the world because he didn't expect me to be born. And she goes, yeah, that was freaking hilarious. And I go, I know, right? So, last thing, very last thing, before we open these, I kind of already have us down as attending UA. And she goes, why? I look directly at her and go, remember Nezu? She goes, no. I go, good. She goes, why? I go, well, if you remembered him, that means that you'd remember the thing that I already regret in this life. And I don't want you to do that, because then you'd probably rip me to shreds. And she goes, what did you do? I go, well, I'm not going to say currently. If Plan Z ever does happen, I have guarantees that Plan Z will be successfully enacted. I have the promise of a rodent, promise of the symbol, the promise of the knight. You got Aizawa, the crankiest dad you'll ever meet. I look directly at her and go, yup. She says, what the hell did you plan? I go, I planned on giving other people other quirks so they can successfully defeat All for One, because there's a downside to All for One. She goes, what? I go, did you not notice the quirk that he gave me and the ability, then the thing that happened to where he couldn't take the quirks back? She goes, no, I did not notice. I go, well, he gave me a super regeneration quirk and it fused with my original one, and I basically hit partial singularity. She goes, is that why you can't take quirks? I go, yup. Partial singularities do not allow him to take quirks. Full singularities do not allow him to take quirks. So if we hit partial or full singularity, he can't take them. Is that why he's acting now? Because he found a singularity that will force him to basically retire and become the big bad boogeyman again, instead of the actual symbol of fear. And I go, yup. So, would you like to go to the Yayorozu ball? She goes, the what? I go, the Yayorozu ball. She goes, no. I go, I'll dress up. I'll look nice instead of the things that I wear normally. She goes, on one condition. I go, oh God. She goes, I get to pick out your outfit. I go, oh God. I look directly at her and go, you can pick out my outfit as long as it's in navy or cobalt blue. She goes, okay, deal. So at the ball, I'm in a navy blue tuxedo with a cobalt blue tie, black shoes, white shirt, and instead of normal cufflinks, I have lightning bolt made out of gold with a silver outline. I'm waiting in the limousine for Jiro because she had to make sure that she's perfect for it. I see a goddess get into the vehicle. I'm speechless, struck speechless. And I can't think straight. She asks me, what do I think? My jaw drops open. Nose starts to bleed. And I faint. She's in a stunning light purple dress that brings out every one of her curves with a microphone styled necklace. It looks like the cord to a microphone and then the microphone hanging off of it right above her center of her chest. It's made out of gold and silver. The cord is black with sound system earrings. And I'm just on the seat, just like, just completely out of it because of how good she looks. You go. The only other person who has more expensive stuff is Momo Yayorozu and Todoroki Shoto. I get to know them. I explain that we're going to UA soon. They say they're going to UA soon. I look at them, say, you should get in via recommendation. Did you go to the entrance exams? Because I didn't see any glaciers. He goes, no, I got in through recommendation. I go, okay, so we're not having him in our class. And they're like, what? I go, I have an in with the principal. So already one of the teachers hates me. So, yeah. I get their phone numbers. We get in contact with each other. And after another week, all the schedules, all the uniforms, a slight uniform gets sent out. And I read the rules and instructions for the school, well, the university. One of the things about the university is it has a dress code, but as long as it's a decent outfit, they don't care if you wear their uniform or not. So I send the link to Jiro. Jiro's like, thank God. And I get dressed in my favorite Hawaiian shirt and shorts with sandals. And I walk into UA like I own the place. So I get to class. I sit down in the back seat. Jiro shows up in a tank top and shorts. Because this is summer, not winter this time. And we're just sitting in the back. We're chatting. I sent the same thing to Yayorozu and Todoroki. And yes, Just because I don't care, I have my Hawaiian shirt unbuttoned down 3 buttons, so it's basically hanging off me like it's just a towel. Mina comes in, sees this, and is about to say something. I look directly at her and go, as long as every private part is covered, they don't care. Her eyes sparkle. And I pull out the dress code, because I printed it out, and folded it into a paper airplane and threw it at her. It hit her in the side of the head. She opened it up, read it, and she started cheering really loudly. At this point, Ida walks in. Speed walks in. Because he thinks he's going to be late soon. I see him, and I go, oh, great. A stiff shirt. Everybody, Jiro looks at me, and Mina looks at me, then looks at the person that just came in, and Jiro starts snickering. Mina's like, what do you mean? I look at her and go, look at his shirt, look at his posture, and just wait till he starts talking. She goes, what? So she just watches him, and he walks straight up to me and starts berating me for wearing a Hawaiian shirt and shorts to this prestigious university when they gave us perfectly good uniforms. I look deadpan at him and say, I don't need to wear the uniform. She doesn't need to wear the uniform. You don't need to wear the uniform. Now, what we do need to wear is clothes that can be closed up and look presentable. I can present a great speech on electricity and how irresponsible it was for UA to use robots instead of their teachers at the UA entrance exams. And I'll explain that later when Aizawa, our teacher, comes in. And not any earlier. What do you mean comes in? Well, first he's got to leave and come back. So like, what? I snap my fingers, and this glove appears on my hand. I flick my fingers out, and this nano-thin wire of electricity, and I pull it forward. This yellow sleeping bag rockets out of the vent system, and I slowly set it down on the ground. It turns over, sits up, and just starts glaring at me with a death stare. I just look back and go, you know, I found the full capabilities of my quirk. Yeah, you don't want to be on my bad side. He goes, what do you mean? I go, like this. Snap my fingers, and this just wave of energy. He approaches Aizawa at light speed, and all of a sudden he falls down unconscious. So I use my ability and wrap him up in an electromagnetic field and start moving him around. And I'm like, I'm going to the nurse's office because I'm going to be chewing him out with Chio, the nurse, and I'll be back. See ya. I walk out of the room. Jiro starts laughing. Mina looks at me like I'm a god. I know I'm a god, but you don't have to keep looking at me like that. And we make it to Chio's office, the nurse's office. She looks at me and I go, he just fell unconscious. I don't know what happened. She says, uses your breath to say what I did. What did you do? I go, meh. He was being irritating. So I kind of turned him off for a little bit. She goes, what do you mean? I look directly at her and go, I got an off switch for any living creature within a good 20-meter radius. I can disrupt any electrical signals from the brain to the limbs or anywhere within the body, as long as I have the right frequency. And she looks directly at me and goes, "You scary fucking child." I look at her and go, "Also, here you go." I hold out a bottle, and she goes, "What is this?" I go, "You take that, and you will be rejuvenated for the next 20 to 30 years. And she goes, "Why 20 to 30? I go, "Well, I don't think you want a 6-year-old doing operations with her quirk yet." She goes, "No, hell no." I go, "Well, we're about to get her out in a half a year, when the after the provisional licensing. That's half a year. Izuku Midoriya will get her out, and you will need to be alive to help her with medical sciences." She goes, "What?" I go, "Talk to Nezu. He's got the next entire school year planned out. So, I gotta go back to class. Talk to you in a bit. Bye." Well, I'm gonna end it here. It's not even class yet, and I'm already messing with the timeline. Very fun. But I'll see you guys in the next part. Talk to you guys later. Bye.